This is who I'd leave my wife for right here.
What's our hall pass?
Fucking Shakira.
Latin. Really?
Dude. Unageable. Look at this.
Too small.
Look at that. Look at that. That's 48 years old, motherfucker.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
Look at that.
I mean,
That's 48.
But I think Pops and I are on the same page.
she's not
We
white.
talked about this before. What's that?
And it's,
Who you leave your wife
Who's your
for?
hall pass?
Sophia.
Or,
Oh, Sophia Vergara.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good
oh,
one. too.
nice. Okay.
Same lane. I'm going. Yeah, I'm
Kathleen
going.
hates it when I put it on Modern Family. I'll just watch
'Cause
it.
you
I'll put it
know.
on mute.
Yeah.
It sucks
Her voice
anyways.
is annoying as shit.
It
Yeah.
is,
Why she shuts the fuck up.
I was like, there's no way. That's got to be a fake. There's no way you've been in the country, the U.S. for so
you
long.
chum it up. You chum it
Yeah.
up.
That's her thing. That's her
brand.
That's her brand. Yeah.
Yeah, you chum it up. We do have sticks here.
Pops, Debbie adores you guys, and I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
I'll pick one.
Do it.
I've never had this one.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, then you need to.
I'm a white guy.
Do it.
Is that the Rusica?
Yeah.
Did
Did y'all just get these in because you didn't have
No,
this?
we've had them from the show.
Yeah.
We've had them for a few months.
Okay.
Been
Oh, no.
re-upping them.
I just know it's on the
That's
bottom.
nice.
Back in the day, yeah.
It's nice. Little leather.
It's on the bottom shelf.
You remember the original?
Yep.
Because it's a big brand. But it's much more composed than the original.
Okay.
I think it's going to bring back some nostalgia for
I've
you.
never
But
had the Accomplice either.
this, oh, yeah.
I'm trying to work my way through the principal and DC line.
Yep.
That's a journey for sure.
That is perfect everyman cigar right there. Cool. All right, well, I'm just going to push us.
No timer?
I was trying to get a.
I'll go. What's up, boys?
What up?
What up?
Oh,
Airball. Knock my watch off.
messed that up.
Lady, oh, you know what? I didn't mic check it, so hopefully this is good. So hopefully,
Yeah,
first off,
give us an audio
Mike,
check.
okay.
Mic
So
check,
Larry is
1,
on
2, 1, 2.
immediately, which tells me that there's probably a notification going out.
I got
Or
cigars
he's
and
just
guns.
If you're
been on
watching
Facebook
this,
since 4:30.
thank you guys so much for joining us. This is our Tuesday get together, Cigar Talk Live. We haven't been setting off the notification bells, so if you could be our notification bell for us, hit that share button, give a comment, give a share, the like, the whole thing, subscribe.
I got
If
it.
you do that, that's gonna make this show better, and it's gonna make us better because we're gonna have more of you on here. And
I got it.
for those of you who are watching, this is our weekly get together where you beautiful people sit with these beautiful people and then have to listen to my voice for a little bit, and we just talk shop.
First time I've been
because-
called beautiful, but I appreciate it.
Well, I've heard a lot of first things tonight, and my
Yes.
first ex-wife or first ex-fiance is the first one that I listened to 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, you gotta get that right.
Sorry about that. And Who we got checking in tonight, ladies
Well,
and
we've
gentlemen?
got,
What's up? What's up, Beer Grills?
We've got Bear Grylls coming in from, where's he at? San Antonio?
I haven't
And we've
seen that
got
name in a while.
Kevin Amick coming in from Georgia. We've got the Adams coming in from Missouri. Bound to have somebody come in from Texas.
Yes. From the 210 of San Antonio.
San Antonio.
What's up, Beer Grills? Hit that comment, like and share. Do that up. Tonight, stage right, we have Josh Sims. In true form and fashion of Cigar Talk Live, we planned, we guested, we put all of this together, and then our guest sent us a message this afternoon, and it wasn't coming. So then we waited until 8:15.
Yeah.
You would think with the money that we pay to get the talent on here,
Right.
that they would show up.
By the way, it wasn't Mark Sheeran. Mark Sheeran is actually next weekend, so we're doing a good job of pre-promoting it. It was
Okay,
another
He was the
individual.
reason I was actually up here. I would much rather listen to him talk than.
I actually, when I went to get dinner, I went on the kids portion, thinking that Sheeran was going to be here and we were going to get some
You
of
were
his
gonna eat
meat.
some meat.
Agreed. I had a super light lunch too. Yeah. So
What's up,
We'll be going to
Gabe
the Waterbury
Munoz? Good evening for. Oh, you know what? Let's start the show. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Falaz.
For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, this is what it looks like to smoke a cigar in a lounge.
cheers to y'all for joining us tonight.
Say
Thank you very much.
virtual. You're on a virtual visit to Industrial Cigar Company.
What up, Tim
right here
Flores?
in
What's up,
Frisco,
dog?
Texas.
If the scenery looks a little bit different tonight, we have changed locations throughout the lounge.
Yeah.
That we have, and the whole lounge changed. And I've got to say, I like the new layout. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's good when we're working the floor. It's easy to access.
Absolutely.
Better conversations.
Yeah.
More people just staring at each other.
Any direct feedback from?
Actually, the two people I was concerned with was Jackie Wilson and JJ, and both of
Yeah.
them walked in and went, love
JJ's
it.
good over there, back in his usual spot.
Yeah. What's up, Baptiste is in the house.
I did hear. Yeah, we have. Yeah, so for those of you coming in from Georgia and Missouri, we got France in the house.
I hate to break it to you. That man may sound French. That is a Texan.
He is a Texan.
That is a Texan right there.
Anybody, and this is a warning to Kevin Amick. It's a warning to Larry and Julie Adams. It's a warning that if you ever spend more than a week in Dallas, you will go home, sell everything, come back.
Start
This young
fresh.
man went back to France and sold everything, and now is a resident.
This young
of
man we're
the great
talking
state
about
of
is
Texas.
Baptiste. Baptiste is his channel is Cigars and Bench. Bench and Cigars.
Bench and Cigars, yeah.
Cigars. Well, I was trying to put the priorities first on YouTube. Check him out. This guy is salt of the earth. And let
He
me tell
is.
you just a touch about his week. You know what his week consisted of? Mark Sheeran's meat and attempting to shoot hogs out of a helicopter.
The
Yeah,
dream,
and
the
it's-
Texan's dream.
And it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine shooting the hog, collecting the hog, taking it to Mark, and have him cooking it up.
Oh,
That sounds like a YouTube episode.
That
Yeah.
does.
Okay, so we do have some questions, and good evening. Gabe asked, have we had the new My Father 10th Anniversary LE?
what's my father?
No.
He's right
It's
there.
a cafe. It's a one of their coffin cigars that just came out. Haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
My
father's great.
guess is my father's stuff all kind of lives in the same lane.
Yeah.
They very rarely kind of wave in and out.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
This is no bullshit.
That's the Olmec from Foundation, and I've not
What
had
do we
that
smoke?
cigar
What are
yet.
you guys smoking tonight?
Well, I'm actually smoking a cigar that doesn't exist yet. That is from Definition Cigars. That is the
course it
Goods Maduro, which is the white label.
How's it smoke when it's lit?
Better.
Does it?
Yeah. The Olmec is a new cigar from Foundation that is famous for the Tabernacle. Nick Melillo is the owner of the company. Nick was the creator, the original creator of the League of Nine that everybody knows from Drew Estates. He left Drew Estates, started Foundation. Tabernacle's a winner, times 10. But the Olmec he came out with, and our friends at Cigar Snob Magazine, by the way, if you're this show's not brought to you by Cigar Snob,
Should be.
but if you're going to read a magazine about cigars, it is Cigar Snob. But Cigar Snob did their top 25. Of course, it's nowhere near as cool as ours because ours is totally biased. but this was their number one cigar.
That's not there yet.
Sexy Rain coming in from Jersey. We got Antoine coming in from France. Bonjour.
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 Howdy.
Bonjour.
How do you-
Good day, mate.
How do you say
How
hi
you doing?
in Jersey? How you doing?
How do you say hi in Jersey?
How you doing?
Forget
This
about
one, New
it.
York.
Forget
Forget
about
about
it.
it.
Forget about it.
All right, Sims is on full force. I'm excited about this.
Let the dude out of the
Olmec,
trunk.
This is no bullshit, though. This is a good cigar.
Great cigar, and it comes at a Maduro. Double Corona is about $14.
What are you smoking?
I don't know if I've ever heard of Principle.
Ever heard of
You're
it?
smoking
This,
the second best-selling cigar in our store, right there.
Is it White Accomplice or just Accomplice?
Accomplice White Label.
That's what I meant.
There you go.
This thing is fantastic.
How's it
It's
start out? How
incredible.
would you describe that thing right away?
Smooth, little cream,
Yep.
Not oily, not peppery.
no pepper.
What's up, Tim Harris?
Beautiful.
I'm definitely not a pepper guy.
I
I
am.
have found that out.
I did communicate with our friend Darren Chaffee from Principal Cigars today, and I will have. That's one
Fucking
thing to do.
Computer, man.
Can we start over?
Can we put a gutter on these mic stands?
This guy at Tequila.
By the way, check out these mic stands, though.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Turd Ferguson killed it.
Oh my goodness.
So if you're ready for this, Darren Chaffee is getting us not only the Accomplice and a Lancero,
Oh, that.
but we will have an Accomplice Corona Gorda.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So that's strap hanger double deckers shape and size, but in an Accomplice white label.
For it.
Yeah.
What you smoking over there?
I'm in Nica Rustica. It's something. It's a cigar I have not had in a while, so definitely giving it a revisit, and I like it.
That's called the Adobe.
Adobe.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
It's excellent.
That's
Gents.
done by our friend Willie Herrera.
Yeah.
Jess, I'm gonna put out the first little question here. Okay, because I witnessed this
Oh no.
yesterday. For those of you who, for those 16 people who are on my Instagram, personal, you saw this yesterday. I identified the difference between joy and happiness.
Got it. Yeah. Saw it.
But I want to know, what do you guys think is the difference, or how do you guys describe the difference between happiness and joy?
Happiness to me feels like a more long-term,
Yeah.
throw a blanket over a longer period of time.
That's what I was thinking. Too.
Joy is
In the
in the moment.
Yep.
I know when I was watching the video that you posted up with the kids all in their Mario Karts and the Tesla, the little Tesla car,
Yeah.
and Alessia driving this Tesla with little 1-year-old Leah with her arm just hanging out, just chilling, going down the road, and then Elias buzzing by and everybody in go-karts heading down the street. I just thought that was joy.
That's joy.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm going the complete opposite.
Yeah.
To me, I think happiness is in the moment and joy is the lifetime.
I'm with you.
Really.
That might be a generational.
Well,
gap.
we had a curveball thrown at us last week when we were talking about pride, and the question was: is it pride or is it joy? And I always had this thing about how pride's a powerful drug. When you're proud of your kids and you're proud of what they do and their accomplishments, to me that was pride. But Drake was saying, no, that's joy.
I'm with Drake on that one.
Are you?
Yeah, I think there's a different feeling between happiness and joy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I think you can be happy driving down the road, listening to the Black Keys or fill in the blank of whoever it is that you jam to, and you could be happy with that. But that can also be a momentary, like, oh shit, I'm happy. But I think joy is more at a core, fundamental happiness through your soul. That reaches everything. Like, this moment may not be perfect, but everything that's important to me is right.
To
Like,
me,
that's how I would describe the two, joy and happiness.
I was thinking happiness is for myself, and joy would be for the people around me.
Yeah. So
I feel
in your
joy
case,
is for the people around me. Happiness is the selfishness for myself.
Yeah. So in your case, I mean, you're cruising around with your kids. Everyone's having a good time. At that moment, they're super happy, but you're having just a joyous time.
They're happy and I'm joyful.
Years later, 5 years, 10 years, they're going to remember that day. And, the other things that you do that are super fun and just, yeah, it's going to be something that they'll remember for sure.
Yeah,
Which is happiness to me.
I like to see how we all pretty much have different but similar definitions of this.
So where did you come up with that?
Well, I was sitting in my go-kart yesterday, right? That I bought for the kids for Christmas that they're way too small to drive. And it's way too fast for them anyways.
Put slicks on it?
I took the governor off. And that thing just howls at dangerous speeds with the wheels wobbling. But we stick them in there, and hopefully they're not watching. But Santa got the kids these 2 Mario Karts. And then we have this old Tesla that's there. Well, Ale decided to get in the kids' Mario Kart. I thought, to hell with it, let's make a lap around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I'm driving, and I've got the little 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton rattling in the back. And I'm going, as a kid, I would be so happy to have a go-kart. Right now, as still a kid, I'm still pretty happy to have a go-kart. But then when I look up and I see Elias pass me and Leah loving it and Alessia loving it and Ale just being a kid and having fun, that moment just enriched my soul better. I won't forget the smell of the air, where the sun was, how it lit up the air. I was able to take in the atmosphere versus that one singular focus. So
well, the difference between me and you, I'm not letting my kids pass me.
I'm going to be real honest. I stuffed Elias into a corner. Yeah, no passes are free here.
No, everything's earned.
No, that the only fear I ever had of my dad was if he was behind me in a go-kart, because I knew when I hit the brakes that this was just how he was going to slow down, was hitting the back of me.
Yeah. If you go to YouTube right now and you type in Joe's Karting, Iowa, and you look for my name, you're going to watch. I had a GoPro helmet, and about 3 minutes in, he hit me so hard that you could see him behind me. He hit me so hard, my neck, even with a neck roll, everything, whipped all the way back. Yep, you wear the brakes.
I gotta see that.
No brakes if you got people in front of you.
No, our family we'll stuff a 3-year-old. We'll stuff a 3-year-old right in the corner.
Yeah, you're not going to pass
How are
me
they
where
going to
you're
learn?
Feel good?
How are they going to learn?
Yeah.
No.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, block the inside. Cover the inside. Why wouldn't you cover the inside? You're getting
Just
stuffed.
give them that lecture.
For those of you who are just joining us, this is parenting
We're
segment
teaching
here.
you how to raise your kids.
So while you were talking about that, I was thinking about my own family, and not to get too deep here.
Let's get deep.
I don't know about how anybody else's family is, but if there is a serious situation in my family, there is somebody bound to crack a joke and lighten the mood. And we like to say we put the fun in funeral.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
There could be the most serious situation. I can remember our grandmother was dying, sitting there in the hospital, and we're just sitting there cracking jokes with each other. That's our way.
It's the natural levity of
getting
things.
through it.
Yeah, I think our family is we'll rib, make fun, or we'll give somebody shit just in an effort to not think about the bad part of it.
Yeah.
That's when y'all met my wife earlier tonight, and
I think she's back there kissing on Andrew at this point.
she might be. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Yeah.
By the way, there's a very happy guy right there.
That's
a happy guy.
Will Trailer, are you happy or are you joyous?
Are you happy?
He's on a
or
call.
Are you joyful? Are you full of joy?
He has
or
a box of
happiness
tabernacles
because of
in
the
his hand.
tabernacle? Yeah.
Joyous. Yep, there it is. See, that's the difference.
Watch if he's going to skip. He doesn't look like a skipper, but he's going to skip.
there he goes. He's on a very important C-level
he has a
conversation right now with
meeting
AT&T.
with the CEO of AT&T tomorrow.
And he's smiling.
He's joyful. Joyous.
He's joyous. Joyous is more powerful than happiness, I think, is what we just saw.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got a hell of a family, it sounds like. You're cracking jokes at funerals.
Oh, 100%. So I told my family, I go, look, if we ever get in a fight and I smile, that doesn't mean I don't care. That's just my way of trying to get through this. And by God, the first time it happened, She came unglued, and I've never seen her more pissed off ever.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because you smiled?
I smiled at her, and she was like, "Do you take anything seriously?" No, I doubt it.
What's the most upset Kathleen's been at you, Adrian?
It's, and I still do this, and
I
bite
saw
my
it in your
lip
face.
afterwards. It's when I say there's
Oh,
two words.
you
It's either settle down or relax. Those two words I've learned, and I still utter
Settle
them.
down?
To a
Oh yeah,
woman.
to my wife.
Yeah.
or to a woman for sure, but to your wife, those two words, not together.
That'll mushroom cloud the whole neighborhood.
Settle down.
Yeah,
I'm sure
Yeah.
no man has ever.
and I
said
don't
that to
mean
their
it in a
wife
bad
before.
way. It's like if I'm driving, 30 years we've been together, and to this day, she hates my driving. If I'm coming up behind someone, slow
It shouldn't
down
be in the
or
left
watch
lane.
out, I'm like, exactly.
You got to
But,
stop
I'll
100
say,
yards beforehand.
Settle down.
Yeah, settle down or relax. No, I won't. Yeah, we're going to dinner. She won't talk to me until we get there.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
But she talks to you that same night?
Eventually, but she knows.
That's where our wives are different.
Yeah,
That's where ours
You
are
get the
different.
cold shoulder for a long period of time.
Oh, yeah. And I've almost embraced it to a point where I'm like, is this a 12-hour, 24, 36? Because I need to know how
Yeah.
long I need to do my own thing for a while.
Exactly.
But I will say, if I ever say you're being like your mother, that's definitely
Oh, that's a big
like,
one in my
you know what?
house.
You're kind of like, you are kind of like your mom.
I've said that once.
You learned that one.
Oh yeah.
So my mother-in-law lived with us for 2 years.
Oh, so you know.
So she moved out from California, and I was like, sure, yeah, she could stay with us. And then she moved out, and then when I said you were acting exactly like your mother, it was. I don't think she talked to me for 24 hours after that.
Yeah.
All right, 24. That's not that bad. That's kind of medium. That's kind of medium in my book there. But the problem with Ale is, for those of you who are watching, my wife's from Mexico, and it's very apparent that English is her second language. She's very cute.
Julie,
And
yes, it is.
when she starts yelling at me in Spanish, it's so cute. And you have the inner thing is like, you're in trouble now. Don't smile. What do?
You gotta smile.
You smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ignites everything. Just to your point, it's like, if it's that deep, fuck it. Let's just make this a 36-hour guy.
I stepped in a pile of shit the other day, and I made a comment when my wife was telling me what she was going to do, which I wasn't 100% on board with. But then I looked at her and I said, I don't know why I'm even talking to you about this. You're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I turned around and walked out. That pissed her off.
Really?
So she didn't talk to me because I basically just held up a mirror real quick and let her look in it.
Yeah.
While I just said, you're going to do it anyway, so I don't know why I'm wasting my time. So she got mad at me because I spouted a whole bunch of truth, but it was the reality of the situation. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I
So
don't know.
Julie's coming in and she's just sitting there going, you guys are a bunch of idiots.
That's no
Pretty
doubt.
much, yeah.
She just said, yeah, she's basically on Kathleen's team. is
Oh,
what
for
we're
sure,
finding
yeah,
out.
Yeah, I mean,
get it.
I think, I think women. There are definitely landmines that have been set by them for generations after generations, and we step in it. We're men, and that's what we do,
Yeah.
and that's just just
we
keeps
do.
the world going around.
Yeah.
Boy.
But how I knew she was a keeper.
Yeah, that's actually a good pivot. Let's get to how you knew your wife was a keeper.
So it was the holidays, and she was meeting my family and my brother for the very first time. And it was right around, it wasn't Christmas, it was right around the morning of kind of Christmas. And my wife was reading the paper back when they read the paper. And my younger brother, who's about 4 years younger than me, comes out of his room, looks at her, picks up a candle
Amen,
lighter,
Kevin.
and sets the newspaper on fire. That's just how we are. We're dickheads. And
Hang on, who is this?
This is my little brother.
Oh, your brother. An adult at the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lights the newspaper on fire.
As she's reading it,
As she's reading it, all she does is kind of swats it out, sets it down, picks up a different section of the paper, and my brother was pissed. He was because
he was wanting a
that
reaction.
reaction.
Yeah.
No, she just sets it down, and it's like picks up a different section, starts reading it again. I go,
Damn.
That's
yeah,
it. That's the
keep
one.
her.
That's the one.
So, Brandon, how did you know?
Let me come back to me on this one.
Adrian?
I'm a man of character, but I will defer this answer.
Shoot.
It is a family show.
Wow. That's a
Yeah,
question.
no, it's not. That's
It's
more
not
just
a
a
family
negative
show.
reflection on me. Knew she was a keeper. I mean, yeah, you can go with like the easy answer. Yeah, she moved from Mexico. She left her family. She came here. She took a chance. We gave each other 100% full effort with each other, and if it was going to work, it was. And if it didn't, then at least we gave it full effort. And it was 100% commitment on both sides, which was incredible. So that's kind of the easy way. But I'll come back to I'll defer again on that. What do you guys say? Adrian, Bob's?
Yeah, now I would say probably when I first noticed like her drive for success and just different from the other girlfriends that I've had in the past, where it was just like kind of just like in the moment. But with Kathleen, she's like always having a good time. If I'm in a bad mood, she'd be like, "Why are you in a bad mood? Just life is great.
Yeah, calm down.
Good time. Yeah, yeah." And it's like,
Settle down.
Yeah, she always wanted to have a good time, and like, all right, this is different than what I'm used to.
Mine was a very bright light went on when I knew this was it. Early on, as Begley and I we talked to each other for 2 months before we even seen each other, right? But there was a point in time where she's the boy's stepmother now, but then, she's a typical girlfriend that wants to have attention paid, right? I mean, any girlfriend wants, the world revolves around them.
Yep.
Well,
This is all going to be Exhibit A to
yeah,
something.
just tell me I'm lying. So there was a point in time where she was going to come in. She was going to come in from Chicago, come into town, and I said, well, I've got something going on with the boys this weekend, and I really, this is going to be difficult, but we'll make arrangements. And she's told me, she goes, don't ever put me in front of your kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought, that's it. That's all I need to hear. Because it'd be really easy for somebody to turn those tables,
Yeah.
And so for me, that was the deal.
Do you remember the first day we met her?
Vaguely.
She picked us up in her Mitsubishi
Eclipse,
the
yeah.
turbo.
Nice. Kathleen had the same car.
I knew her for 4 minutes, and she put me on her lap to drive.
Okay.
I was driving a stick shift when I was probably
you were
8.
18?
I was probably 8 years old.
Yeah.
Shut up.
He was 11 feet tall when he was 18.
But yeah, she took us and we drove a stick shift, and I was probably
Damn.
that was 1997-ish.
Yeah, 7-ish, yeah.
Well, I was way
98.
too young to be driving.
That was 98.
98?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was way too young to be driving. Yeah, we knew immediately. It was like, yep, that's her. That's the one.
Yep. Yeah, she puts you guys first
She
instantly.
puts everyone first
Well,
all the
that-
time.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what,
She still does. Yeah.
the world revolves around you guys. There's no doubt
I've
about it.
only had the pleasure to talk to her for just a few minutes, but in those few minutes, I can definitely tell.
Yeah, everybody comes
She's
first.
a different kind of special, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
She is. She's unique. She's yeah, you see it now with grandma, right? There's this challenge we're going through with my grandma. She always makes excuses why she I'm coming on Thanksgiving. No. I'm coming in, and it's just heartbreaking. She makes this excuse of why she wasn't doing it, and my grandpa's deflated. So I was like, we really need to get up to see grandma. She goes, okay, today or tomorrow? Well, I don't know if I can go today or tomorrow. Okay, well, I'm going for a month. I'm going to go up there. Here's my week itinerary. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. She just drops everything to go up there, and she's like, we're not letting her give up. I'm going up there right now. And it's interesting if you surround yourself with the people who are better than you. I mean, that's a blessing for us Frakes boys to have people who are better than us.
Well,
But
she's the one that was making sure you guys were involved in Special Olympics and making sure that
Yeah.
you guys were giving, picking families to give Christmas presents to and adopting families and things like that. She was the driver of that. That hadn't hit my agenda yet.
Yeah, when we were probably 10 or 11, that's when the first time we volunteered for the Special Olympics in Omaha. That's kind of the
If
beginning.
you've never worked at a Special Olympics, you should. It is a joyous time.
That is an incredible time. If you want to enrich your life, you go to that. I mean, there is just humanity exists.
It'll reignite, your appreciation for humanity.
And they used to have like the Special Olympics type thing at the University of Nebraska.
Well, University of Nebraska held either the international games or the national games in Lincoln.
Oh, yeah?
And that was the first time I ever picked up a camera as a part of the journalism advertising
Yeah, I remember
school.
that.
So I snapped a photo, wrote a quick write-up, and it was picked up by like Fox or some national syndication picked up the story. And I was like, all right, it looks like I'm in advertising now. This is it. This is the coolest thing ever. I just saw that photo the other day.
Yeah.
It was really,
I can
really
picture that
special.
picture.
It was, he's doing the MC Hammer dance. He's got the baggy pants on.
Yeah, that's cool.
In the Olympics area there. Oh, just incredible.
Cool.
What are some of the things in your life that you have done that you're most proud of? I think that would kind of segue into it, which is that Special Olympics, being a part of Special Olympics, being a part of individuals with developmental disabilities. Obviously, you'll trump any of that because that's your day-to-day.
Yeah, it is my day-to-day, but I don't think of that
See you, Marty Upton.
as something that, what you're asking. My mind just goes somewhere different just because I'm immersed in it every day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Where's yours?
I have no idea.
Where are you at? Think about it. We're coming back to you.
I don't know if I've had one, honestly.
Really?
I'm sure I have, but I can't think of anything so profound.
That question right there, like, I needed that before the show.
Yeah.
You would think that something would come off right off the top of your head.
You probably have so many that it's like,
maybe you can't pick just one.
yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Where are you at? Aside from kids.
No, I think
Kids is our
I think
purpose.
6 years of coaching youth football from third graders to seventh graders. We had 120 kids, 130 kids that were in our program, but the thing that we always looked at was how many kids came back the next year and signed up, and we were never losing kids, even if they weren't great players. And you have to believe that it put some of these kids on a path that was not the path they were going to be on.
Yeah.
We were in a nicer neighborhood. It wasn't like they were going to, go join a gang or something stupid. But
DK's been in jail a handful of
yeah,
times.
that's true. Not everyone's a winner, but I think about this is going to sound horrible, but Fat Bradley, because that's what we called him. But here's a kid this kid was destined to be a Twinkie rep. That was just because he had so much experience eating Twinkies, and just to see him go from not having absolutely zero desire to be out there to stopping me one time in a Burger King and tapping me on the shoulder and going, I'm playing high school football right now. So, that you get to impact 150 kids a year. That was and make the game of football fun.
Yeah.
I think that was fun.
I think there are a lot of lessons.
I hate to piggyback on that. I got roped into coaching my oldest daughter's soccer team years back, and seeing girls who'd never played soccer before just come back and wanted to be with the team when me and one of my best friends was coaching, and if they quit, we kind of understood why they wanted to do other things, but we only had one or two quit, come back. When I told them I wasn't coming back, I'm getting emotional on this one. All these little girls started crying, and I was like, "Over me? No, y'all go do your thing. I'll come watch you play, and hopefully, when y'all grow up, I want to see y'all go to college, be successful." And right around when they were turning 4th or 5th grade is when that attitude kind of starts coming out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we instilled a little bit of work ethic, respect, discipline, and hopefully they're doing that now.
You think about the life lessons that came out of just working with these little kids. I remember we had a kid that was, I would say almost unstoppable. DK was almost an unstoppable running back. The play was just give it to DK and he would score. But his mom came to me before the last championship game and said he's failed all of his classes. So to bring everybody in and get everybody ready for the championship game, and by the way, DK, you're on the sidelines because your grades.
Yeah.
And the whole team was kind of like, and Brandon was the quarterback, and he was voted the team leader by his deal. They were like, Brandon was like, we got this, and it tore DK up.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team had an opportunity at that point to go, no, the reason we're going to win is because of him, and then they went, no, the reason we're going to win is because we're a team.
Yeah.
And that's that type of a life lesson that pays off in spades further down the road.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're open to it, that's the challenge with parenting styles now is you can pour your heart and soul, and then you just never know if it's going to make it home. That's vis-a-vis the lawsuit against Parrish guys, because you just never know. But I think you're right. I don't know if you can really you can't be proud of something specifically for yourself.
Yeah.
You can be proud of yourself for doing something, certain things. Maybe that's a good question to hop into. Like, are there times when you had to, look down the barrel, you had to do something that was interesting, something that was scary that you had to get over? That may be it, but that pride, that holy shit, that's, which I do, and I think we back up when Tim Hewells was on 2 weeks ago. I think I do disagree with the fact that I don't think pride is a negative thing. Like if you're proud in a moment,
I think he viewed pride as ego. That's the way I think ego will rot somebody. I mean, it'll rot you to your core if you're driven by ego, driven by everything that comes with it, and at some point the reality that you've been faking it and you haven't made it finally will hit home.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, I can see that. So I got a question for us. I'm not sure if we've ever talked about this, but what's like the most scariest thing that you've done? Sort of like a fear. You did it.
Easy.
And then it was okay after that.
Yeah, easy.
Man.
I know what Brandon's is.
Which one?
Colorado.
Yeah. I'm deathly afraid of heights.
Me too.
Yes.
To the point where I have maybe once a week I have a heights dream. But also my dreams are not my friend. But we climbed Long's Peak, which is a pretty, for seasoned climbers, that's a pretty relatively, it's a 14er in Colorado in Estes Park. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. But the thing is, there's a hard way and then an impossible way.
Yep.
And we took the hard way, which is through the keyhole is what it's called. You climbed you camp at about 13,500 feet, and then climb through this little keyhole into the backside. And when you get up, you look over, and it's all cliffs. Okay. And then the remainder is cliffs.
Yep.
And there's a section there that is on the bars of the ledges or the narrows, that there's a bar that hangs over the cliff, and then there's a boulder, and then another boulder. So you have to put your foot over about I don't know if it's 1,500 feet or 2,000 feet, but it's a cliff. You have to push, duck underneath, reach up, grab, and pull yourself up. Like
Do you have a guide?
No. It's...
I don't know, man.
It's very, very, very... For me, it was very intense. And it was a moment of, you're either going to do this or you're not.
Yeah.
And so, I was able to traverse it and get up it, but in that moment, you become acutely aware of what the consequences are. Putting your foot over and you look because there's no, don't look down, because you have to look down to spot the bar and put your foot on it.
Yeah.
And when I say a bar, I mean, it's rebar coming out that somebody put into the mountain. And you get through it, and it was unbelievable.
Scary.
It was unbelievable. And you get through it. Now, that has not healed me of the fear of heights.
You don't.
Not even the slightest.
I'll tell you my story as well
That's
when
it.
we get to it, but
Yeah,
Haven't
yeah,
healed.
kick it.
I haven't healed.
No, not even a little bit.
I think Josh got something.
Just sitting here thinking about that, I think it's when I went back to college, right before I turned 30, I was not a good student in school, not a good student when I first got out of school. I was laid off twice in the span of 4 months.
Yeah.
And the first person I call is my wife, and she goes, "Hey, have you ever thought about going back to school?" I'm like, no way. Called my dad, and he reiterated the exact same thing. "Hey, have you ever thought going back to school?"
Yeah.
2 days later, I was enrolled at Collin College, and I went to my first class, and I was 10 years older than
Of course.
everyone else in that
Yeah.
class. And then they start talking about writing papers and having to study for tests. I'm like, how am I going to get through this? And it took me a good 4 or 5 years going year-round to school, taking about 2 classes at a time, working a full-time job. What I forgot was the second time I got laid off, on the Friday, my wife told me that she was pregnant with our first kid, and I got laid off on that next Monday.
No.
And I go, holy shit, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And I was terrified that we were gonna be homeless, stuck with an infant at home.
Yeah.
Sink or swim.
Yeah.
And just went back, and I learned a valuable lesson for those out there listening. College is pretty easy if you go to class.
Oh yeah. Easy.
The first time I would go into the building, hang out with my friends, they're like, "Hey, let's go to Whataburger. I'm hungry."
Yeah.
Never go to class. I wasted time, money, everything until I started having to do it on my own.
Oh, for sure.
Wayne's got a pretty solid one coming in here. He's got first time leaving the country. He did it alone. Flew from Sacramento to Narvik, Norway to meet this internet girl. 5 flights, 31 hours, 4 countries to get to her.
It
She
would've been funny
became
if
my
you put-
second ex-fiance.
I was just about to ask
Yes, that was the second ex-fiance. I love
Would
that.
have been great if you put internet girl in parentheses or quotations. Yeah.
She was worth it.
Getting that mail order, bro.
That is
Yes.
solid. That is solid. Good comment. Oh, yeah. You guys chime in on this too. This is your show with us.
Yeah.
Well, what's the time that you were just scared that you had to overcome it?
Scared. Scared. I was. This goes back. I was probably, I don't know, maybe 8, 9 years old, and my dad was drag racing, and he had this 55 Chevy, and it was loaded up on the trailer, and we're getting ready to go. He didn't realize that I wasn't in the car, of course, because why would he pay attention? So I saw the trailer starting to leave, so I jumped up on the trailer, got on the wheel, where the wheel covers are at. But the only thing I could hold on to was that little edge of the window on the 55 Chevy. And Grandpa decides that it's time to go. We're going 65 miles an hour, and I'm hanging on the side of this thing going, I'm going to fall off. I'm going to fall off.
Shit. There's no horns on drag racing.
No, this was a 55 Chevy, and there was a little edge, and I just remember there was this thing that was like, you can't let go, but it felt like it was inevitable. It felt like I was going to fall off, and that would have been it. It would have been a wrap. But fortunately, he stopped, and I was able to get in the car and shake it off.
Because
but
you saw you.
Obviously, I don't remember anything. I couldn't tell you my friends' names when I was 8 years old. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But I remember that.
I've never heard that
I
before.
remember that like it was yesterday.
Whoa, that's fear.
But I noticed that it doesn't surprise you that Grandpa took off without making sure that we were all in the car.
This is the same guy that had you drive when you were underage.
13, yeah.
You were 13.
Drove about 150 miles into Las Vegas.
I drove from Omaha to Denver when I was 14 or 15 because he was too tired from. He lit the RV on fire, so he had to fix it all night. Got onto the interstate, fell asleep at the wheel, then said, "I'm too tired, I got to go to sleep." and then just had me drive a 1970 GMV RV
Had you driven before?
15?
from Omaha. The speedometer didn't work. It just did this the whole time.
Bounced, yeah.
So his friend called and he's like, "Hey, you're going 85." He's like, "Well, I'm not driving." I didn't know how fast we were going. I'm going 85 and the shit's all over the place.
Have you ever driven before?
Oh yeah, I'd driven before, but I haven't.
Never
I didn't drive 11
cross-country.
hours.
Yeah.
In an RV by myself. We got to Fort Morgan, we call it Fort Morgan, Colorado, and the fucking exhaust system fell off of this. Just all of a sudden, just started.
If you saw the movie Stripes, the EM50,
have you seen it?
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what I drove 500
GMC.
miles.
Army
When I was-
training, sir.
But you made it.
Oh, we made it. I mean,
Yeah.
my grandpa knows how to raise somebody. I mean, no mercy,
Yeah.
and
No
figure
mercy.
it out. What's up, Kim? How you doing? Yep, that's
No mercy.
Feel free
Hey.
to drop some questions, by the way.
yeah.
absolutely.
So let me tell you mine. Mine's I'll try to cut it short, but every year Brunel's gets all this gun guys together every year, and they take us on a surprise trip. They don't tell us like what we're gonna do. They'll give us a location, and then we just end up there, and then something is planned for us to do. 2019, we went to Mount Zion National Park. Rented a big, beautiful home, hanging out. So, of course, the first night, hanging out, smoke cigars, and some drinks. Next morning, hey, we're gonna go do some rappelling.
Oh,
So we're like, all right. In my mind, I'm like, shit.
what is
okay,
your fear,
whatever.
Jim Trailer?
So then,
With a fear of heights to boot.
yeah. So there's a few of us that had that fear, but I was like, you know what? I'm with my family. We're good. I'm gonna do this. I don't know, feet wise, whatever, what we're gonna do. According to Josh, and y'all know Josh Coburn, he's like, you know what? I talked to the folks. They drop us off. We hike a little bit. We rappel, and people do this every day. We've had elderly people do this. It's
Almost no
big
deaths.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hardly anybody's
all I
died
heard was
this year.
families, elderly. I'm good. Bring a bottle of water. You know, you'll be fine. I think they drop us off. The van pulls up to the location like around 10 in the morning. When it's September, so it's still a little bit hot. From where we got dropped off, it's a 2-mile hike. So it's hot.
A hike.
Yeah, and sand, like soft, like beach sand. And then so some of the people are drinking their water, whatever, this and that, just having a good time. We're good. We get to the first rappel, and it's maybe like 50 feet. All right, I can see, you know, whatever. I do it. Next rappel is like 200 feet. One dude, and he's a big time YouTuber, that's like super famous. He's like, I can't do it. I was almost at that point, and I was like, I mean, I have to do this. And so the dude was like, I can't do it. I can't. We had guides, by the way. We had 2 guides, and the guide said, well, if you don't, you either walk back and you don't know how to get back, or 2, we can order a helicopter that you all have to pay for to, you know,
geez.
get you out. So he's like, fuck. So he was the last one to go. I rappelled, and you know, you got everybody like, you got this, you can do it, whatever. So it was encouraging. I got it. He, like, I don't think they've ever done this, but he had to, like, you know, when you parachute with the tandem. So he rappelled tandem somehow.
Okay.
I don't think they've ever done that. We do that, and so we finish all the rappelling. The hike back was another 2 miles uphill. By that time, water's out. We're out of water. We're sweating our asses off. It's super hot. That same dude that was almost going to be helicoptered back, he's like, he stops. He like sits down. He's like, I can't go anymore.
What do you mean I can't go anymore?
He can't go
You're
anymore.
gonna
He
die?
needs water. Everyone's out of water because they told us to bring one fucking bottle of water. Someone had like one of those gel packs. We're like, shove that shit down his throat. We're like, let's do this. We got to do it. So I'm trying to encourage him, and we're still good friends to this day. But we got through it, and I think we got back to the van like at 5 p.m. And we're like, fuck you, Josh.
Yeah. You're gonna
Elderly.
die
Show
in
me
your
the
sleep.
elderly.
And I was like, there's no way an elderly person did that. Fucking families, kids? No.
No.
There's no way.
Those are bad parents if
yeah.
kids did that. Oh man, that would have to be terrifying.
But to your point, I was still scared of shit. And to this day, that didn't help me with my fear of heights. No.
it doesn't
No.
doesn't go away. You know,
No,
there.
my one height story. The first time I visited Chicago, I was with my,
Oh, you did
wife.
it. You did it.
Sears Tower.
We went to the Sears Tower,
No.
and we were waiting in line to step on the glass. And I'm sitting there, laughing, having a good time, looking at people being Instagram models up on the glass.
No.
Then it's our turn. So my wife step on there. She's taking a little selfie picture, and I try to step on there, and I can't do it. And this was only
That's the thing
this
that
is only 2
does
years
that?
ago.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the Hancock Building.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
either
I
way,
thought it was-
there's
This,
glass,
you, look,
right?
you can look straight down
Yeah.
to the street.
No. Fuck that.
So I'm
You can
one,
feel the building.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I step 1 foot on and 1 foot out, and my
No.
wife grabs me by the shirt. She's like, "We're getting this picture." I'm like, so I'm looking up. And I was like, all right, I want to get a picture of this on my phone.
Yeah.
So I put my phone down. Well, what I did is I looked at my phone that's looking straight down to the street,
No.
and my legs just went weak. And I'm like,
Yeah.
take the damn picture. Let's get the fuck out of here
Yeah.
and go.
Yep.
San Antonio has a tower very similar to like Reunion Tower here.
Okay.
We went up to the top, and you're outside, and this is bars and everything. You're safe, but I'm doing this up against, Kathleen and my friends are all walking around. Hey, no, I'm holding onto the backside like this, and I'm good. Even
Yep.
the elevator ride up is crazy.
Remember down in Austin at the F1 race, we went in that 300-foot.
Oh, I would never go on that.
300
No.
It has glass floors.
Yeah.
You can watch
No.
the cars go.
He walked
no.
out. He walked out of the elevator and then just became like a magnet attached to the wall.
It's
Yeah.
For people who are not afraid of heights, they don't have that, like, your body cannot do it.
No.
It can't.
No.
It can't physically.
It's a block.
It's
I
that
remember-
flight, and it's flight all day long.
Well,
Yeah.
I just remember. I remember when I knew I was afraid of heights. I went with Grandma Mickey. We went to Mahoney State Park in Nebraska, and they had that lookout towers, but the lookout towers had graded metal, so you could see through.
God.
And so we walked up the stairs, and all of a sudden I realized my body sat me down, and I couldn't move, and I didn't know what it was. I was just in fear, and it was probably only 4 stories up, whatever.
Still.
But I couldn't move. I'm curious how many people who are watching, because we have 3 or 4 at the table afraid of heights.
I envy those people, definitely. I watch the YouTube videos at the Grand Canyon when they have the.
Is that glass thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have the part where it acts like it breaks.
Oh, I've seen that.
That's
The
in like
glass.
China or something.
Yeah,
Is that
China.
what it is?
Yeah.
When you walk on it, it looks like the glass is shattering. It's a video monitor.
Yeah.
No
But
way.
as you're walking, it's like the ice is cracking.
What kind of
And
fucked up joke is that,
And you
man?
see people just hang on to that rail trying to make it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they think they're dying. That's
Correct.
hilarious. You're
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah, in Vegas when they have those rides on top of the stratosphere.
No, thank you.
No,
Here's the
I wouldn't
thing.
do that.
No,
Here's the thing.
Never.
I think I would do that.
dude.
If I'm locked in like a roller coaster, no problem.
But I love roller coasters.
In the
That's
love
the
roller
problem.
coasters.
in the front seat, you're like,
I think I would do that.
Where it hangs off.
no. What about bungee jumping? Because you can do
No.
bungee jumping
I'm
off that
out.
shit.
I'm out because I've got kids. I mean, my
you're
dad
strapped
died
in.
bungee jumping.
I've
Yeah.
always thought about skydiving before I bungee jump.
Okay, so what is the
No.
thing that you want to do in your life that's that bucket list that you might do that you just may never end up doing?
I think it's skydiving.
Skydiving's yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think skydiving. I think it's just one of those things that it would scare the shit out of you until you hit the ground and you go, I want to do it again.
No, but you may hit the ground literally.
Well, yeah, and I have a friend, a good friend of mine I went to high school with. He jumped tandem, and the chute didn't open, and he hit the ground.
And then?
he went and did it again, so he'd get back on the horse,
Oh, so
and
he
the chute
lived.
didn't open again.
No.
He lived.
He lived.
What about
the safety chute came out, but the main chute didn't come out, but it was tandem. He had 2 people there. So
You're driving
momentum's a
him into the
bitch,
ground.
right? Well, then he did it again.
Thanks
solo.
for coming, fellas.
came in solo,
Sorry.
and the chute didn't come out, didn't
family.
open either, and it just the secondary chute came out. His main chute opened when he was like 100 feet off the ground.
Oh, by that time it's like
Yeah,
it's too
100.
late. Yeah.
So he slowed down to like 80 when he hit
but you're
the
telling
ground.
me he did it again?
He did it again so he could say that was a fluke, and then it wasn't a fluke.
I think that's God telling me something.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm out. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna do it
I'm
again.
done.
Or try it.
Yeah,
or try
maybe.
it. However, I did do a hot air balloon.
No, fuck that.
No, hell no.
Nah.
Did you have parachute?
How'd you
No.
do that?
Would not recommend.
How?
Would not recommend.
Very
Do you know
romantic.
why? Because if you're
Screaming the whole time.
if you're 6'4", the basket doesn't even come up to your dick. It is
Right.
the worst position. I hugged that thing with my
Did you
life.
have a picnic basket, bottle of wine?
But after they landed, I drank so much champagne that who I was with had to drive me home. I can promise you that.
Kevin Amick is guaranteeing us that he is not jumping.
You're not jumping. Okay, so yours is you're skydiving. What's yours?
Swim with sharks.
Oh shit!
That's one thing you'd like to do.
Yeah, I would like to do it, and I probably, if I had the opportunity, I would. But I don't know if I ever will.
Why not?
I don't know. Just, I mean,
You're not even interested in like leaving the country.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if
we
I
don't
swim
have
with
that many
sharks-
sharks. It's gonna be Cocoa Beach. What happened to
I
us
mean,
at the
if
national
you were-
championship?
If you had to be in the cage,
Like
and
great whites is what you're saying. Like in the
Yeah.
cage, the whole thing.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, I
there's
would do
sharks,
it. I'm
period.
not afraid of that, but
What about whale sharks in Cabo?
Oh, that's different.
That is different.
Oh, those,
I mean, I
those
want to go like
In La Paz?
whale watching. I would love to do that. What whale sharks? What's that?
Oh, so
Oh, they're
in La Paz,
enormous.
you can go in La Paz, and what you do is you get in this little dinghy, and they have a helicopter that's spotting.
Right.
Yeah, so you fly into Cabo, you go up to the beach, but they'll fly over, they'll spot it, they'll tell the spotter where to go.
So the boat
you
will go
take
that way?
you're just snorkeled up.
Okay.
And you just jump in, and the whale shark is right there. And then
They
you can
are
get in, you can
enormous.
touch it, you can grab it, you can kind of swim
imagine a
with it.
whale that looks like a big ass shark.
It's as big as this room, Adrian. It's like twice the size of a school bus
You never know what's down there.
on accident. If you're near the krill, people have been sucked in because when they go up to eat, you can get sucked in. That does happen.
I mean, I would do that.
Oh, 100%. I would
Are you
do
saying
that.
you did it?
I haven't done it. I lived down there for however long. I had a bunch of people who would go. They would do it. Loved it. Incredible.
Why didn't you do it?
Busy, man.
Okay. No, I thought
Yeah.
maybe because you didn't want to.
No, I'd do it
Okay,
for sure.
all right.
They're
I'll
gentle
do it.
creatures. Stand-up comedy. I would like.
You're kind of doing that
Okay.
Yeah, it's like-
now. If you're sitting
You
down.
usually do that every time you're here.
yeah, I mean, it's first off, I'm not that funny. Second off, but I think I'm always thinking about like, okay, what would an angle be? What would this be? I would love to put together maybe like a 5-minute set and do even just an open mic to walk up and here's my premise,
Yeah.
run through a 5-minute set and do some stand
When
up.
you're up there by yourself,
Right.
and
Just the
it's,
fear
it's
of
a
it.
little different being in a group.
Yeah, exactly. And the fear of it and working the crowd and having fun with it.
Remember
I
when
think
Mega
that's-
Bang did that?
He did, and he did a
Yeah,
great
I was
job.
thinking
Yeah.
that.
That's
Sure, I was thinking of
that's
Mega
something
Man.
that's on my list that I may never end up doing, but I would definitely like
Well,
to.
if we do Laugh Your Ass Off here, you can always do a set here.
but
you're safe.
It's gotta, but it's safe. I've got to do it with complete strangers who
No,
are not going to laugh.
we'll give you shit.
We'll have an open mic up
Yeah.
here someday.
We will. We'll have laugh your ass off. Wayne Ferguson brings up
yeah.
a great point, though. Why jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
Yeah.
And he's got a point.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I actually bought for Andrew and Nathan's birthday. I actually bought Andrew a skydiving that he's never done.
Really?
Yeah, so he could go. I was thinking for Nate, but he's too heavy for the shoot.
Yeah, he would get to the ground faster.
Real fast.
Oh, is there a weight limit?
Yeah, you can't be over 300. And
You go too fast, I guess.
and
Yeah,
Ron Hancock is
Having
coming
dollars.
back with Army airplanes aren't perfectly good.
That
Valid
makes
point.
sense. Yeah.
Hence
Yeah.
why you jump.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's good to scare yourself, or I think it's good to at least put yourself in a situation where you go, why am I doing this? To develop character.
But when you do it, you get
Yes.
it over with.
That's it. That's That's
First step is
judgment.
the
Well, it's
hardest.
just, I mean, I raced motorcycles for 10 years, and when you're on the starting line and everybody's on the starting line, everybody's going, you know, the level of nerves are out of control. And as soon as the clutch goes out and you start banging through a few gears, then all of a sudden you go, okay, I can do this.
Right.
But until that's you're standing on the edge of the cliff. You just don't know what's going to happen in that race. You don't know if you're going to get crashed. You don't know if this is your last one. You just don't know. And I think it's just the not knowing. And everything we've talked about is the not knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
You know, you just
The
don't
fear,
know.
you know, and that's almost the timing wise of Josh Sims. Let's bring it to like the real world of it. It's like Josh and I had a conversation a handful of weeks ago that we just said, I asked you, are you at a blow off valve? Or are you at a fork in the road? Like this has to be one of those moments where you go, is this a change in my life or is this not?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're almost kind of sitting here viewing you in this period of time that could be one of those moments you're at the starting line.
Yeah, and it was, and when you asked me that question, that was no hesitation. It was road less traveled. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, now hindsight being 2020, being 61, and look back at how did I end up in a cigar lounge on a Tuesday night? There were some steps that I had to take that I didn't know anything about what I was doing. So if the unknown is the fear factor, you know, running a record label, what do I know about running a record label? I mean, I don't know. And what do I know about being a sales rep and being given a map and they say, this is your territory. Now what? That was my training. Here's the map. Go see these guys. And it was, but you conquer it and then you go to the next one and then it's interesting. But you think about your career, there's short steps and then there's one big leap. And, you know, it's that everybody can picture that 1, 2, 3, can I get over that ditch?
Yeah.
You know, and am I going to make it? And you just, sometimes you do and it pays off and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I wanted to do right out of high school is nothing what I'm doing now, that's for sure.
What did you guys, when you were young, what did you think you were going to do?
When I first got out of high school, I wanted to be a sports broadcaster.
That's cool.
Took some college classes. Of course, we all know that didn't work out. And then I went to broadcasting school. And there was a little Super Bowl incident that Janet Jackson did that kind of derailed
The
my
original
plans.
cancel.
The FCC was cracking down on people, and radio stations were wanting people with degrees and experience. All I was going to was broadcasting school, probably had more experience than that. I couldn't get anything.
So you want to be a sports broadcaster.
Yeah.
What did you want to be?
I thought I was going to be a cop. So I grew up, my dad, I've said the story, my dad was a cop for many years, had brother-in-law was a cop, other family members that were cops, so I thought I'm going to be a cop. Went to the El Paso Police Academy, lasted 2 months. It was like a 5-month academy. After 2 months, wrote my letter of resignation and said I'm out.
You knew that's something you didn't want to do?
Yeah, I mean, it was a thing of, you know, just not to sound like a pussy, but these sergeants were just yelling at your face, like, as you're running, as you're doing push-ups, just yelling, and I'm like, is this what the whole thing's going to be like? I mean, after I graduate, and these
it's not
guys
the
are still be
military.
yelling at me. It was very much like the military, which I never went into the military, but I figured it was the same thing. It had to have been the same thing. Yeah, so after a couple months, I was out.
Yeah. What'd you want to be? Did you have any fucking
I didn't
idea?
have a clue. I didn't have a clue. I had no clue. And I remember my mom telling me, you know, if you just go to work for the post office, you'll get a pension and
Yeah.
you know you'll be taken care of and you'll never get fired and all that other stuff. And I saw an ad to go work in a stereo store, and I went and did that, and that's put me on a path. But I found out I had the gift of gab, and just embraced the concept of sales, and just realized everything is selling. You're always selling.
Well, those government jobs aren't always as cracked up as they make it out to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, along the same lines, I had two uncles that were, I guess, mail carriers. You know, same thing. My family would be like, get into the post office. Same thing.
Yeah, my uncle was a meter reader. He would walk around and read people's gas meters, and he did that for his whole life. And so you spend your whole life getting chased by dogs. That's
What
it.
a shit profession that must be.
But some people just like I don't want to say they gravitate to it, but they become comfortable, and they're okay doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just content.
We lived in a state of comfort.
Yeah, content with mediocrity is Nebraska. That's exactly what that is.
That's El Paso, very similar.
Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine once you get out of a major metropolitan area,
We were
you
talking.
lose that drive.
Andrew and I were just talking in the back about how all we did in Omaha was at breakfast planned lunch, and then at lunch we planned dinner.
Yeah.
We were just in between meals. That's all we did, and everything else was.
What else
just,
are you gonna do?
What else are you gonna do?
What exactly are you gonna do?
Nothing.
No, it's a bummer. When I was young, I wanted to play professional football.
Oh, we all did.
Yeah, I mean that's I thought I had it. Interesting because my backup in high school played professional football.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. We both wore 84, the whole deal. But yeah, I thought I was gonna play football, and that would have been cool. Would have been cool.
But your body appreciates the fact that you quit now.
For sure.
And my body still deals with what it is. I mean, it's just part of the sport. It is what it is. It's a violent sport. That's you can see the hits, and I'm trying to explain this to Ale last night. We're watching. There's a hit that they ran down the sidelines, and our safety, the Cowboys safety, ran up on the sideline and just fucking smoked this guy at the 5.
I know the play you're talking
Big
about.
hit, right? And it looked big hit on slow motion.
Oh yeah.
I said that guy still has to go to work. He's still working right now.
Next play.
Yeah, he's still got to work another 48 minutes.
Yeah.
That guy is going to do that 10 more times. And imagine that.
He just climbed out of a car crash, and now he's going to go do it again.
That's what the science shows is every hit that a running back takes is equivalent to a 30-mile-per-hour car crash.
Yeah.
And Zeke and these guys are taking 20, 25 carries a game, 25 car accidents a game for 17 weeks, 16 weeks, however far we're in.
Plus practice.
Yeah.
But that's a monster. And unfortunately, I mean, you see, it doesn't translate. None of this stuff translates.
No. So he's padded, and I'll say protected, on the field. He wasn't protected necessarily in his Ferrari when he had that accident.
No. Yeah.
Other than the car, right?
He can-
Seatbelt maybe, but
These guys can take, I mean, it's just amazing the amount of force these guys can take.
Well, I can tell you that I never thought that I would be doing what I'm doing now in my everyday life.
Yeah.
I never dreamed of being a teacher until I went back to college. My dad was a teacher and a football coach for 30 plus years. I saw how hard he worked, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
yeah.
And now, this is
Here
what
you
I'm
are.
doing now.
Yeah, my dad has a machine shop still to this day, and when I was 13, I was in there sweeping, and I was greasy all the time, and never. I learned real quick this whole manual labor and grease and shit just wasn't gonna get it done.
But there is a bit of nostalgia. There's a certain bit of nostalgia of memories of being hoisted by my belt so he could teach me how to mill heads.
Yeah.
I still remember milling heads down to the millimeter. That just the sound and the smell of the shop. And every time I walk into the shop, there's that first smell, know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You smell.
And you know what it is? It's the hot tank.
Is that what that is?
It's the hot tank. Yeah. They have a tank of boiling acid basically in the back, and they drop parts in it, and then it comes out pristine.
Yeah.
It smells.
But it
incredible.
has a smell.
Yeah.
That as soon as you walk in there, you know it.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Until this moment, every time I walk in the shop, you hear the sound of the bell. You see the pictures of all the old motocross riders and Top Fuel dragsters they built in there, and
I thought you were going with the swimsuit calendar.
Yeah, I was
but-
gonna Playboy. yeah.
no, there were some nudies all around that place.
has to
for
been.
sure. Well, we're by the darts.
My
So that
brother.
was. Oh no, that was. Oh, is that?
That,
Was
my
that Junior or
brother was
Uncle Bill?
Yeah, no.
You throw darts and you take an extra time and make sure to turn to the left when you pull the darts out to see which
Exactly.
nudie calendar
That's
was
right.
from 1976.
Jim Trader's coming in and said he wanted to be a convert CIA agent in Russia, which we know that's what he is.
He is a covert. Yeah, that's what he
we
is.
know that's what he is. He's just pretending that he's not that.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
And prosper.
Yeah, base and prosper.
Yeah. But there were times that he was gone for like a month at a time.
Yeah. Where's Jim?
Yeah,
we don't know. Haven't seen him.
We don't
Yeah,
know.
he's a financial advisor.
Yeah.
Is that not the easiest thing to hide behind?
Oh, for sure. That was the biggest degree the CIA would take.
Yeah, I would have
FBI,
to think
CIA
so.
for CPAs and accounting. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets you everywhere in the world.
That's
Listen,
right.
Growing up, I grew up in a high school locker room, and I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. Every now and then, when I go back into the locker room and I smell that sweat and staph infection
And you smell that Bengay.
I know. I go back to when I was 7 years old, and those guys are teaching me cuss words and how to flip the bird and learning
How to snap a towel.
Yeah.
learning about the human anatomy at 7 years old, probably. And that was probably the greatest times of my life. And those guys were my heroes. They weren't the professional football players or baseball or anything like that. It was those high school kids that I looked up to that, to this day, that I still consider those guys my heroes.
That's cool.
It's amazing how to direct into sports, but it's amazing how small communities like Elkhorn that you were at, a town of 3,000 would have 4,000 people show up to a high school football game, and it just lived for this high school, to watch this high school, these high school kids go out and do what they do. It was just,
That was wild.
It was awesome.
I mean, we transferred my senior year to this high school, which has produced more per capita, more professional football players than any school maybe in the history of high school football. But we were 5 miles away from this place before. There were people at the school who didn't give a shit what my name was. I go have a good breakout couple of games, and all of a sudden I'm in the stores, and people know my stats, they know my name, they know who I am. It's like, oh, you're the tight end. It was a cool culture to be a part of, you know? I mean, that's a special time I look back at, is especially that. I think if we pull back to the very beginning of like a joyous moment, one joyous moment was transferring from a school, played football forever, transferred to Elkhorn High School in Omaha, just on the outskirts.
Maybe like Salina.
Not sure how I was gonna be accepted. Met Clancy, dear friend of mine.
Yeah.
He was my quarterback, and then the first drive, tight end goes down. I played tight end, linebacker, whatever. The first drive, I catch 6 passes, and it was just everything after, and then there was this really contested moment where we were playing a nationally ranked school at home for our first game, and they were hot shit. I mean, top 25 national team.
Yep.
They come to our house, and it's the end of the first drive, and he throws a ball, and the safety comes up and hits me right at about the 2 or 3, and I throw him off, back it up, get over the goal line, and I look up, and there's Pops.
Yep.
And he's right there. And just the sound of everything, you know, the whole walls of crowds, and it was just this momentous moment. And it was this super joyous, put up great stats for the first. It was unbelievable, this moment. And I remember getting to the end. We ended up winning this game and kicking the shit out of these guys. Get to the end, and then after, at this small town, we all go to this duck pond. And everyone had to park outside, but the players got to drive up to the bonfire. And I was so happy I was uncomfortable. I was so joyous that it almost hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I walked in, and I was one of them. There was that moment of just uncomfortable joy.
You had me at bonfire.
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking fireman, we're talking Eddie Murphy, raw,
Yeah.
Delirious. Now some fire.
So I know we were kind of talking about this a little bit earlier, but Frisco today is not the Frisco that I know at all. For those that don't know, I was born and raised in Frisco, Texas.
One of one.
One high school.
Yeah.
I graduated with 120 kids. You talking about that just brought me back to our homecoming. We used to have a big parade down Main Street. Band, football players, homecoming floats. Well, on Friday night, the whole town came out for the pep rally, basically. All the schools, elementary, middle school, high school, yelled for the spirit stick. And then afterwards was the biggest bonfire you'd ever seen. That they spent a month with people just donating wood just to go in. And that to me was definitely a joyous moment.
Yeah.
Where was that bonfire, by the way?
Where? So if you know where Memorial Stadium is, the
Yeah.
David Kirkendall Stadium, it would be like right off to the side.
What's there now?
The natatorium.
What the fuck is an natatorium? Should I know what this is?
Nah, I just laughed.
It's where you swim, have swim meets, where the pool is. It's called a natatorium.
It's
Really?
that,
Yes.
Ford. Is it the Ford swim?
No, it's off in North County.
Oh.
Did you know what a natatorium
No, I
was?
think on Jeopardy, I think I would have just lost that one. I would have put, the swimming pool place.
Yeah, swimming.
What is
Yeah,
the
by
swimming
pool.
pool?
So now it makes me sad now. I mean, they have a community parade every year, but it's not the same.
No.
They don't have the tissue floats going on. You know, they have the band members in the football teams and all that, but it was not like the community rallied around the team way back then.
Yep. That's what still exists now in Elkhorn, Nebraska.
And Prosper and Salina still do. It's
Yeah.
still a small community. Yeah, so we'll have the parades, and I don't go, but everyone else does.
Yeah, for those who are watching, let's hop into some nostalgia here.
Yeah, okay.
What is something that is nostalgia you can recreate, or something that maybe it's a song, maybe it's the smell of the shop, maybe it's
Going back to bonfires, man, that was our thing in El Paso. I mean, all the Friday, all the high schools would get together, and it was all desert. So what do you get? We'd burn tires, though. Tires. I mean,
Find
because
some
there's
old
no
couches,
wood.
slide 'em on fire.
Whatever.
Might as well have
lit up,
something that's
yeah.
going to kill you.
It wasn't wood. It was tires, because we could find tires like everywhere. Big bonfire tires, and that's where I would hang out. I would still go to them when I turned 18, but because my first cigar, right, when I was turned 18.
Was it at a bonfire?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Yeah, we had, buddies out there with dunes and just crazy, just fun times out there, the bonfires. You get home smelling like burnt rubber.
That's kind of what we have now,
Yeah.
Cigar smoke is kind of like the new bonfire.
Yeah.
What's something nostalgic to you?
High school, we had a place called the Golden Spike Drive-In. Right now, it's engulfed by, offices and buildings and stuff. But we had a buddy that had a 55 Chevy. We'd put, 9 people in the trunk, and we'd go down there.
Where was it?
It was on about 114th and Dodge.
Okay.
You know where Miracle Hills Golf Course is?
Yeah.
It projected towards Miracle Hills.
Okay.
So
okay.
we would go down there, and that's where we, learned to drink beer, and just that was where everybody was going to the Spike. That's where.
But you had friends in your trunk.
Yeah, I was one of the guys that would get in the trunk of the 55.
So you were
down by where like that Burger King is?
Yeah.
Where everything's the old mill area?
Exactly.
Old mills?
Yeah, so you wouldn't have to pay the extra cover charge when you get
No, it
into
was like
town.
$1.
Yeah.
But we
didn't have
would all
dollars
get
back
in
then.
there, so we saved the money for the beer.
Yep.
And then we'd go down there and drink beer and watch some movies, and that's where everybody went. I mean, that was it. Yeah, if I went to a drive-in and pulled into a drive-in, I'd have that flashback instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess the statute of limitations has run out on this, but if anybody knows Frisco, over by Griffin Middle School, used to be called the S curve because the road back then was a 2-lane road, and it's shaped like an S.
Okay.
Well, there was a turnoff where you went into the ditch and you knew where it was. And they had 10 hay bales on each side, the left and the right.
To keep you from going
just enough where your car could go through. And that's where we would park our cars so nobody would know. And we would just be out there with field parties.
Yeah.
Friends on there having the big speakers, put them up on their truck, and certain songs
Home
bring you back to
speakers.
their. Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the coax cable.
Oh yeah, for sure. We did that. Yeah.
And certain songs just bring me back to that time.
What's one of those songs?
It's probably one of the like '90s country songs, like "Boot Scoop Boogie" or "Friends in Low Places" or or something like that. And of course, every now and then we get run off by the cops. And the next weekend we'd be out there. I think those hay bales stayed out there till they disintegrated.
That's so cool.
We got pulled over one time. We had a shitload of beer, and we got pulled over, and the cops pulled us over, and they said, "What's in the trunk, boys?" We said,
My buddies.
"Nothing, sir." Well, why don't you open it? Well, we don't have the trunk key, sir. Well,
Back when you were junkies?
he goes, "Is the beer cold?" We went, "Yes, sir." He goes, "All right, give it to me." So he took the cold beer, and then they went and probably went another block down the road and sat there and drank it. But yeah, that was the only qualifiers, the beer cold, because he knew kids would take the warm stuff out of their parents' house.
Yeah.
No,
Kids today don't know anything about field parties, and it definitely shows.
That's definitely important. I think
They might, the towns
because they don't socialize anymore.
No.
They're too busy. The party's on their phone. I mean, that's just the problem.
You're right.
Parties on Snapchat.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
And I think the nostalgic part to me is every time I turn the key in the Porsche. You hear the sound of the starter, you smell the motor, you smell, there's a particular smell in the car.
Yeah.
You put on like the Dr. Dolittle soundtrack. There's something special that takes you back to those moments.
I don't own a Volkswagen Bug, but like in that era, you sit in anyone's Volkswagen, whatever, it's not leather, but whatever that smell is,
It's
in the Bug, it's like very distinct.
Very distinct.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories was out by Grandpa's shop. Before there was buildings out there, there was a motocross track out there. So we knew the track, but so my buddy, he was drinking in one hand, I was shifting with the other hand, and then I was drinking with the other hand, and we're on the motocross track in it like a '66 Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And we had filled up earlier, and you could drive for like a month on a full tank of gas in a Volkswagen. So we're flying down this straightaway, just motocrossing in a Volkswagen. And then all of a sudden, the car runs out of gas, and it is pitch dark. So we get out and we start walking, and we're walking. All of a sudden, my buddy trips and falls down on the ground. I mean, he just hits the deck. We're like, what the fuck did he just hit? And it was the gas tank. The gas tank fell out of the car. That's why we ran out of gas. But we tripped over the gas tank. So it was like, how are we going to get the gas tank back in this car? So we had to have somebody come bring their truck, hook tie downs on it, pull us back to his house. Then we got in the truck and we took off and finished the rest of the night. But yeah, tripped over the gas tank. That was.
And then you kept going.
Oh yeah, you kept on going. I mean, the night wasn't over yet. It's just a little mishap.
Kids nowadays would be like, "Oh my God, it's end of the world."
Well, even my generation, there's no. Oh man, you're in deep shit, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, you don't.
My
You
parents are
don't.
gonna find out.
Yeah, no. That wasn't a part of the equation. And you watched like Dazed and Confused, and for me, I like go back because I think that was made in 1979, right? Your senior year, Dazed and Confused. It's like, oh shit, is this what it was like? How far off was Dazed and Confused from what it was actually like?
No, it was right on, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High was right on. I mean, that was just a good time. Nobody had phones, you know. I mean, your parents couldn't find you.
Yep.
You just
There was no Live 360 back then.
No.
As I was telling somebody the other day, like growing up in Frisco, take off on our bikes, on a summer day, like be home before dark.
Yep.
And even then, you check in.
Yep. The
Like,
lights
hey,
are on.
I'm going over to so-and-so's house. So like, you spending the night? I don't know. Maybe. All right, let me know.
Do kids still spend the night at other kids' house now?
That is a very good question.
I don't know.
That was a
Rarely.
good chunk, like Ryan Frazier's house. I would always stay the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, either somebody was spending the night at our house or I was spending the night at somebody else's
Always.
house.
It was always something, but I think that's so important to development. Ale had only stayed the night at Lorena's house one time in her childhood.
Oh God.
I mean, now you could get kidnapped in Mexico and never come home, so it makes sense.
True. Yeah.
But it was interesting because that was like a part of who we would walk to Ryan Frazier's house. That was like an hour and 40-minute walk. I mean, it was, we just walk there.
Yeah.
That's a long walk.
Well, you remember we lived over by Beverage Junior High School in Omaha.
Uh-huh.
We rode our bikes to the West Roads.
That's like 40 miles.
It's a long ass way.
Holy crap.
But we wanted to go to the mall. They had an arcade there, so we just rode our bicycles there. And that would be the equivalent of probably riding to Addison.
Yeah, probably Addison.
Yeah.
And that's on the bikes that you would like pedal 3 times and stand up and coast. Pedal 3
Oh, yeah.
times.
Yeah, these weren't 10 speeds.
Then you knew the friends whose families went to church on Sunday, so you made sure to spend the night with them Friday night.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to get up early on Sunday morning.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this. I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I didn't understand religion or anything, and they told me to come to church with them, and I went to church with them, and I remember we were like kneeling on the ground, like praying on our chair, like a little portable, little flip open chair.
Yeah.
And I looked around, and they were like these crazy like holy rollers, and they were, you've seen these things where these people are like going into trances and stuff.
No way.
No.
And I'm watching this going, this is religion? I mean, it looked like these people were all possessed.
They didn't bring out the snakes, did they?
No, there was no snakes.
That sounds Baptist.
But they were,
Pentecostal.
but if they would have had snakes, they would have brought them out. But these people were like going into seizures and stuff, and I'm like, what in the hell is it?
Yeah.
And these guys were like there 3 nights a week. Scared the hell out of me.
Miguel, we would love to have you on. We would absolutely love to have you on the show, bro.
Yeah, bring in.
Yeah, come on in. I forgot that the camera was on there for a long bit there. So anyone I don't know if anyone's been watching, but if you have, then great.
Thanks for sticking around.
That was a fun little blast. That's something we should really think about. It's just some of those childhood memories. There's one that sticks out to me, and I think we can maybe volley to each other as we kind of approach the end here, which is there was one place my dad told me not to go, which was the jumps. Do you remember this? The jumps were on the lake, and some kids made some BMX jumps.
Yeah.
And there were a few different lines, and it's funny because my chin is still.
Oh no!
I still have it.
Really?
I still have the crack on the side.
Yeah.
We went to the jumps, and it was my first ever concussion. And I jumped, and I don't know if the quick release wasn't done. I don't remember a good chunk of it. I just remember hitting the ground. Actually, I don't
Seeing
know.
the light.
Yeah.
I remember finding the first person who was walking on the trail around the lake and calling my dad and saying we're at the jumps, and my dad was so upset. He came and picked us up and carried and walked my bike, which was at a big old tacoed front wheel, and the wheel was all blown out in the front.
Yeah.
But still to this day, I cracked on a rock or something. I still have this. And the parenting was different at that point because he let me go home and take a nap with a head injury. I took a nap on the floor with definitely a head injury. I mean, truly my first real concussion was no helmets. We didn't wear helmets. We weren't
No, not at all.
You
pussies.
can't wear a helmet.
No.
There's
So-
something about parents' intuition. And
They know.
Now that you're your parent, right? You get it. I was 13. I said, "Mom, I'm gonna go visit my cousin Joey, which is a bike ride away." She said, "Go there. Do not leave the house. Don't go anywhere else." I had a girlfriend at the time. Nearby, we took our 10 speeds to go visit her. Me and my cousins. To get to her house was downhill. My 10 speed didn't have good brakes at the time, but she said, "Do not go." I took the hill, wrecked out, hit a curb, my collarbone hit the curb,
Oh no!
broke it. This ear was like
Dangling
torn off. Yeah. Still went to the girlfriend's house. I'm like,
Oh, bloody!
Of course.
you know, I go, what the F? And my parents can't see you. Close the door. Like, I called my mom, and I was like, I think I need to go to the doctor. She goes, no, you're gonna get here because I'm gonna kick your ass, and then you're gonna go to the doctor because I'm gonna basically beat your ass, all in Spanish. Yeah, so it ended up broken collar. I had to sew my ear back on. Yeah.
No
And I was like,
shit.
all right, yeah, parents know.
Oh man.
What
No.
you guys got? What you got?
If we're sharing those stories, it's only the internet, right? I was 15, and my mom, my dad, and my brother were going to the Maverick game, and I was at basketball practice. And I
Debbie's
was-
watching, so.
Oh,
yeah.
she's heard this story plenty of times. And they drop my dad's truck off, and they tell me go straight home after basketball practice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
To me, that's like-
I mean, back then, small town, like everybody drove at 15. Well, they're gonna be at the Maverick game. I'm going to my girlfriend's house. Went to my girlfriend's house, hung out, saw that the Maverick game had ended. I was like, hey, I need to get home.
Gotta go.
So I was going about 55 and a 35, and I get pulled over.
Yeah.
Underage.
15. Let me see your license. I don't have one. Like, you don't have it with you? No, I don't have one. Step out of the car. All right, yes sir. Starts looking through the car, and it was like, okay. It puts me in the back of the cop car. Now Frisco's so small that I knew people that were passing me that were saw me in the cop car. All of a sudden, the wrecker comes and they impound my dad's truck.
Oh.
They take me to the Frisco police station. They sit me down. I never got handcuffed, and they leave like 3 messages on the machine. The first person to walk through that door was my father.
Oh.
Thank God the cop was there. I know I would have had to call CPS. He was going to beat my ass. First thing we did was we went to the impound lot and got the truck, came back, and that was on a Monday night, I think.
He remembers the night.
because the next day, every single person in that high school knew that I got arrested. Hey, heard you were in the back of a cop car. Just hanging my head.
Probably got a few high fives.
No, they were like making fun of me, and
Yeah.
and then my dad would see me because he taught at the same high school. He
Oh,
saw me.
shit.
Hey, better get your ass home right after school today. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who's bringing you home? I don't know. You better get there. Okay.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me forever.
Oh, yeah.
To this day.
So we
What you got?
We got in high school we got a minor in possession. I wasn't in possession. We were sitting with a car, and my buddy had a Vega station wagon.
Yep.
And so we were minors in possession. And as I told my mom on the ride home, we only had 1 beer. Well, it was a 16-gallon keg. So the cop, they pull us, they get us, and they're like, we're going to teach you guys a lesson. We're taking you downtown. So they thought it was funny, too. So our hangout was the Burger King down on Dodge. So we had the paddy wagon drive us. The paddy wagon came and got all 4 of us. And we had the paddy wagon take us through the Burger King drive-through. And they got us burgers and stuff, and then we went down. They took us all the way downtown.
What?
They take us downtown.
Omaha, baby.
Exactly.
They
yeah.
put us in. They didn't book us. They didn't do anything. They put us in this holding cell, and then I'll never forget the cop. There was a hooker in there, and the hooker decides to fight with the cops. So they're fighting, and all we see is this fight with this window. And we see her hair just bouncing all over the window. And she's fighting these cops and all this other stuff. So they finally get her drug in. And then the guy, I'll never forget this. The cop opens up the door. He goes, you know what's going to happen to you boys? And we went, no, sir. She's going to come in and sit on your face. And we were like, oh my God, they're going to do this.
Let us out.
So the death walk is walking out, and your parents are sitting out in the lobby to bring you home, and all the way home, my dad's dead quiet. My mom's like, minor in possession, huh? Mom, we only had one beer. It wasn't in my car. I think we got a suit against the city. I was like, don't give me that bullshit. She went at it, but oh my God.
Oh, that sounds like a script to a movie.
Yeah, oh my God. It was, yeah.
So
that's the best part of this show is it forces you to go back and remember some of the, hopefully tonight's show got you guys thinking about some of the stupid things you did.
That is it. And make sure to tune in with us next week. We do have Mark Sheeran. We are going to get the meat sweats. Josh Sims, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thanks for having me. He was the only reason I was going to be here tonight. So
See you next week then.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Adrian, sign us off as always.
Yep. Catch us every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Central Time.
Right on the button.
Cigar Talk Live.
Peace. We out
And
of
we'll
here.
see you Saturday. Cars and Cigars
Cars and
Saturday.
Cigars. Do it.
Yep.
Bring your car.
Come see me.
Come see Josh.